Hi, welcome to Grow New Plants. So today I'm going to do something that it was an experiment that I did earlier in the summer, and by the time this video comes out, that other video will be posted, as I did softwood cuttings in the summer of the fig trees that I propagated from hardwood cuttings earlier this spring, and they were successful. I did 2 cuttings in the water bottle method, and both of them did great. I've got them up potted into 1-gallon pots now, and they look really healthy. So I need to prune. These are the ones that I did cuttings from earlier this year, and there's a video for that. I'll put that down in the description too. And they need to be pruned back. So I'm letting them kind of grow because I want more cuttings off of them. So, but I'm going to take some softwood cuttings off the tips, and then I may cut them back a little bit more once they turn into hardwood cuttings this fall, and have some cuttings for the spring to do as hardwood cuttings again too. I've got obviously this big long one here, so I want to take the terminal bud off because I want it to branch off. So I'm going to take this top off right here, and I'll just discard it. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to make them too long, so I'll probably go right below this node right here. And then on this one, I'll take the terminal bud off the top, and I'll go, what did I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess. We'll just stick with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll go off right here, and that'll be another cutting. So this one was a, this is a Nero 600. So what I'm gonna do is take these, and I'm just gonna take these bottom nodes off. I'll probably leave these 2 top nodes on, and then cut the leaves back, where it's not too much growth on there to try and support until they get roots on them. So that'll be one cutting. Take these bottom leaves off, leave the top 2. So I think that's what I'm going to stick with. I'm going to do 5 nodes on each cutting, unless I have one that maybe is too short or something. 2 on the top, 3 down, and I'll bury the bottom 2 nodes in the ground. So I'll have 1 node above the ground that's cut, and then 2 more that still have leaves on them. So these will be my 2 cuttings off of that plant. So now I need to make a label, and I got to keep these separated so I don't get them mixed up. I'm going to come back and make labels with my label maker later for those. So that's the Nero 600. So I'm going to come in here and do this with these other plants, and I'm going to show you something first. Like this is one of these plants, and it grew all these roots out the bottom. These things are ready to be potted up into bigger pots too. I'm going to do that pretty soon too. I'm going to move them into 3-gallon root makers. So these are all the roots that grew out of this thing. This one here is LSU purple, and I'll just pull this out, and look at the root system in this thing. It's crazy, isn't it? So we'll put it back in there. We're not gonna repot them yet, but so I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 cuttings off this one. Then I'll probably just do the other ones off camera, because it's gonna take me a little while to get all these and keep them organized so they don't get mixed up. So we got, take that terminal bud off there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll go right about here. That'll be 1 cutting. And the other good thing about this is going to take these, it'll stimulate branching on these too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go underneath the 5th bud. Set this one back down. And we'll go ahead and do this one. These got big old leaves on them. This one is a little dehydrated. They're so big, it's hard to keep them hydrated because there's so many roots and so much growth on them in those little bitty pots. So that's one of them. Hopefully that'll still be okay. They'll have plenty of water once they get into the, so take those 3 bottom ones off. These got huge leaves on them, so we'll trim those leaves down pretty small. Okay, so there's 2 LSU purple ones. So I'll mark those, and then I'll go in and I'll get all the other cuttings done, and then we'll come back and stick them. Okay, so I have my soil ready to go. I have my cuttings and I've been soaking them in water just to keep them from dehydrating. And I've got them all labeled and everything. So we'll just start over here. I got 3 of the Malta Blacks. So I'm just gonna make little holes with my pencil here. And I'm gonna dip these in rooting hormone. I don't even know if the rooting hormone is necessary on these. The other ones that I did not do rooting hormone on, but I'm gonna push them in there pretty deep because they're pretty large cuttings actually. Some of them are, some of them aren't, but we'll go there, there, and there, and then I'll label those. And then I got 2 of the Atrinos. If you watch my other video, you saw the when I grew these the first time from hardwood cuttings. And I had 6 different varieties, I think. And one of them, I don't remember, I don't know what happened to the other one actually. I know they all took. I had at least one. Maybe the other one that I have is not big enough. It didn't do well enough to do cuttings with it. So I have one that I'm not doing anymore, but hopefully it'll grow out. So these are the Atrinos here. And then I got 3 of the Basilica Blacks. We'll go 1, 2, 3 there. That's a big old fat cutting right there. And then this is a little skinny one from the same plant. Hopefully these things will do well. I'm using my misting bed now, and that's the ultimate way of doing this. But if you go back and watch the other video, if you don't have a misting bed, or you don't want to set one up, I know it's a lot of work. Mine's pretty, I don't know, high tech, but I did a lot of work building mine. And I know everybody can't do that or doesn't have the desire to do that. These are LSU purples here. Well, I got 3 of those. But you could do this with that Coke bottle method. If you watch that video, they worked really good. Right in the middle of the summer, they took and did just fine. And then I think at some point I'm gonna do a video of just a little miniature version. If y'all, leave a comment down below if you'd like to see something like that, because I know not everybody can set up a misting bed like what I did, but you can do other things that give you the same effects. So what I'm gonna do is build a little micro misting bed and have it one where it's got a timer on it that'll just set their misting time, but you can just set it up. You can build it pretty small, pretty cheap. You could do it on your patio or in your backyard, wherever you wanted to do it, and operate it with a battery operated clock and 1 valve, and just hook a garden hose to it where you don't have to run irrigation to it. So I think I'm gonna build one of those just for fun, just to kind of show everybody that would really like to. These were Nero 600s, there was 3 of those. But I think I'm gonna build one of those and just to kind of show you how you can do it and build it for relatively cheap and not taking up a lot of space. And it's something you could move around from place to place too. So anyway, so there's all my cuttings. Some of these are already wilting pretty bad. So I'm gonna water them in real good one more time, and then I'm gonna get them into the mist. And hopefully in the ones in the Coke bottle, or in the water bottle, they rooted in like 4 or 5 weeks, were fully rooted out. So I'm hoping 4 or 5 weeks on these will do the same thing. So we'll come back and we'll take a look at them after we get roots, hopefully. Okay, welcome back. So I've got my softwood fig cuttings that I did in the mist, and I had pretty much 100% germination on these. I mean, I'm super happy with them. I've got 2 of them that have not put out new growth, and I'm not sure what the roots are gonna look like. I know they have some roots. I'm gonna pull them out and look at them. If I think they're worthy, then I'll go ahead and plant them up too. And I've already taken one and planted it up yesterday, just kind of testing to see what they look like before I made this video. So it's been 8 weeks. So I'm gonna get moved in and we'll start pulling them out. We'll look at what the roots look like and we'll start potting some of them up. Okay, so let's go ahead and start pulling some of these out, and I'm potting them up into my regular upstart mix, which is 75% bark mulch and then 25% peat moss. So I let these things dry out a little bit, so some of these are a little bit wilty looking. I don't know whether you can see it or not on the video. There's roots coming out of the bottom of these already. So what I figured out with these things is I need to kind of squeeze them around a little bit and then hold them upside down and pull real gently. And then I get the majority of the roots and dirt out with them. So that looks pretty good. It's not holding all the soil completely together, but that's a really nice root system right there. So that's going to be good. So we'll go ahead and put this down in here. We'll add a little bit of extra soil on it. So I'm really happy with this softwood cutting method that's working, because this is another LSU purple here. So I got them all tagged. I'll tell you what they are as we go. So the thing is this is really the easiest way to propagate these things for me anyway, because I can take them in my actively growing plants in the summer and take these softwood cuttings, and I can get just as many plants as I want to, because obviously they put out a lot of new growth in the summer. So I can, well, that one kind of fell apart. Still got a decent root system. You see it's put out a lot of new growth. All that's new growth. So that'll be fine. I'll just put it right back down at the same level that it was in. And I don't expect all of these to be fully rooted out, but I feel very confident they're rooted out enough that they're going to survive. So we'll go ahead and pull out maybe 2 or 3 more, and I'll put the tag back in that one. That one was a Basilica Black. Most of these were from my original group of about 6 or 7 figs that I started with. This is an Atrino, so I'm excited that the Atrino rooted, because I only had one Atrino plant. Most of these other ones I have several of. Same thing, didn't hold all the soil together, but the roots look really nice on it. So that's going to survive just fine. Get that back down at the same level. Now it's the middle of October now, so we're going to start getting cooler weather. We've already got a few little cold spells, but that was the, what did I say, Basilica? No, Atrino. So I'm excited about the Atrino. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out, show you the good and the bad before I start fast forwarding. So I had another Atrino right here, and it has not put any new growth out, but it's got buds on it. It's still green, so I know it's done something. My guess is it just has very small roots on it, and it may not even transplant. I don't know, but it's getting late, so I'm going to go ahead and pull them all out. So we'll see what this one looks like. Yeah. So yeah, I pretty much, it had some little roots on the bottom, but I broke them pulling them out. So I don't know. I'll probably go ahead and just stick it back in there. I'll stick it back in there and give it some more time, and it may root out before winter. And then I'll go ahead and pull out the other one that's, yeah, this one just didn't make it at all. It's got a couple little tiny roots on it, and then that was a Basilica Black there. So 2 of them out of these did not make it. Then the other one that I had, let's pull out what looks like one of our better ones here. That's a Nero 600. It's a small one. It doesn't have a lot of roots out the bottom. You find one that's got roots. There's a Malta Black, that's a different one. And it's got some roots showing in the bottom, so this one ought to be pretty good. Yeah, it's got a nice full root system. It's like I said, not holding the dirt together still, but that doesn't really matter. As long as I'm gentle with them and get them right straight back into soil, those roots will take right off into this new soil. They're not going to be constricted anymore. And these are going to get just regular outside. I'll give them a little bit more shade than normal, but they're going to get some sunshine. They're going to get regular once a day watering. I'll water them in real good, and they'll get once a day watering after that. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'll fast forward through and plant the rest of these up. Okay, so I got them all potted up. So I had 2 of them that had little baby roots on them, so they didn't die. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave them in the mist, and you never know, they may grow roots in time, but I can pot those up before winter. So I had, and this is the one here that I did yesterday, and it looks perfectly fine. It's doing great. So all these will do fine, I know they will. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 out of 14, and I got potted up 2 that still may make it, but that's a really good percentage. So far, I'm trying all these different things on rooting figs, and I'm having some success, and then I'm not having success, but so far the green figs in the mist is by far my best bet. So I'll probably do quite a bit of that next year. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Thank you, bye.